Thank you all. Please be seated. Whoa. So we're a little leaner this morning, but the singing was just as magnificent as it always is. So thank you for that. We'll have a little bit of a shorter chapel this morning because people want to get off to watch the girls' rugby game, and that's why we made chapel earlier, apparently. So a few comments from me about end of the year. So I've been working on a novel, fiddling around with a novel now since 1999. And I know you think I made a mistake, but no. 24 years ago I started this novel, and I'm still fooling around with it. I keep trying to consign it to the fires of hell, but it just kind of keeps coming back to me. So the working title of the novel is Leaving Behavior. I don't know if you've ever heard this phrase. Have you ever heard anybody talk about leaving behavior? Maybe I should change the name of the novel. So leaving behavior refers to how we start acting weird when we begin to prepare to leave a place, a school, a job, a community. Hi, Copeman's. So people who exhibit leaving behavior find it hard to concentrate on their day-to-day work. They begin to kind of disengage and separate from the people around them, and they start to think more about the future than the present. In other words, leaving behavior is about leaving before you leave. So even if you haven't heard the phrase, I suspect some of you are familiar with the phenomenon, and some of you are experiencing it right now. Who's feeling like they are experiencing leaving behavior? Thinking about the summer, I can't, right, okay. So I, as one does, I Googled the phrase a while ago just to see what others had to say about this notion, and I found that one site that used the phrase leaving behavior. And the site outlines an experiment conducted to understand the changes in behavior occurring at the time of nest leaving in free-ranging domestic pigs. So let me read a short excerpt directly from the site. During the last 5 days of nest occupation, the litter spend more and more time outside the nest, and during the last days of nest occupation, frequency of reciprocal contact grunts and long grunts from the mother increased, indicating a change in the character of the mother-young interaction. And you're probably thinking, wow, that's amazing. That's just like what happens here at Shawnigan. And you would be right. As we get closer to closing day, the frequency of grunts from teachers and students does tend to increase, and this does seem to indicate a change in the character of teacher-student relations. So the interactions change because we are engaged in a different kind of work, or we might say that the intensity of our work changes as we concentrate almost solely on preparing for end-of-the-year activities, the most significant, of course, being final exams, right? So when it comes to baby animals like piglets, they generally are not anxious to leave the comfort of the mother. Warmth, milk on demand, a soft place to sleep. Usually the mama animal has to kick the babies out of the nest. And some of you, again, may be feeling that way right about now. Others may be feeling anxious to get school over with and get on with the joys of summer, or in the case of the grade 12s, with the rest of your lives. The point being that leaving means different things to different people. So what is common in our experience is that it's easy at this time of year to come down with what I call leaving behavior, to get easily distracted, to lose focus and energy for some of the important work that is still to be done. You can lose focus despite the long grunts of your teachers. So here is my suggestion for some ways to do leaving that kind of avoid that leaving behavior syndrome. So since things do tend to shift as the year end gets nearer, why not shift the leaving behavior around us as well? Instead of thinking just about leaving, we might think of what we are leaving behind. Not just the memories that we will take, but the memories that we will leave. So instead of disengaging from people we are going to be leaving, whether for a couple of months or forever, might we not think of engaging with them now while we are still together? Because this is actually the perfect time to say things that you've probably been putting off. The thank yous, the apologies, the compliments, the heartfelt expressions of friendship. So these few remaining weeks of the school year do kind of provide a freedom to express our genuine feelings to one another, preferably positive ones. And instead of being totally preoccupied with a future, why not use some of this time to reflect on what this year has meant to us? I think it's been a pretty full year. Has it been a full year? Very full. There's a lot worth reflecting on and a lot to learn from, both the happy experiences and the more challenging ones. So this is a precious time in many ways. We might even say a sacred time, because it is limited. And because it is limited, it provides unique opportunities. It's our chance to use this few weeks to crown a year of challenges and struggles and achievements with a final show of what we are made of, a last burst of creative energy, if you have any left. I'm not sure I do. And believe me, this final effort that we make at this time of year, and I'm talking to myself as well, will have a major effect on how this year resides in our memories forever. So let's finish well. Let's commit to doing our absolute best in the days ahead, regardless perhaps of the fatigue that we might be experiencing. And let's keep in mind what the old adage says about breakfast and pigs. You may have heard this. The difference between involvement and commitment is like bacon and eggs. The chicken is involved. The pig is committed. Have you heard that before? Thank you. You don't have to applaud. Thank you very much. So, yeah. So really have a great rest of the year. Not that I won't be talking to you again. And now I'm going to invite Sissy to come to the microphone and tell us what she's going to play for us. Sissy.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Cicely Gretel from Gross. It's my great pleasure to perform the piece, The Cuckoo, written 300 years ago by a French composer, Louis-Claude Dequin. This little bird has a distinctive call, cuckoo, which you will hear all through the music. In Europe, hearing the cuckoo is regarded as the first sign of spring, and I hope you enjoy the music.
Thank you, Sissy. That was worth waiting for. I know Sissy's been bumped a few times, so we were so glad that you got to perform this morning and that we got to hear it. So beautiful. So you sang so wonderfully at the beginning. We're going to sing another hymn. We're going to sing the Strathcona House hymn, Be Thou My Vision, number 10. So please stand. Thank you. Please be seated. And yes, you're going to be out of here in a few minutes, but I just want to invite you to take a moment, to take a deep breath. Really, this is what chapel's about, to just reflect for a moment on all the things in your life that you're grateful for the people that you're worried about and concerned about. And I'll invite Daniel to come up while I'm just blabbering here. But these prayers are really an expression of our hope and faith in the future, that if we are kind and that if we are in relationship with one another in the right way, that things will be okay. So that's really what these prayers are about. So just maybe we'll really take the time to enter into this moment this morning. And Daniel, come on up to lead us.
We take a moment to think of those in need in our families and in the world. Please respond to the bidding, Lord, in your mercy, with hear our prayer. We pray for an end to war and violence within our borders throughout the world. Lord, in your mercy, for the poor and homeless, for the hungry and lonely, for those who suffer from abuse or neglect. Lord, in your mercy, we pray for those who devote their lives of healing, both the practitioners and the researchers. May their work be blessed. Lord, in your mercy, for Shawnigan Lake School, its students, teachers, administrative staff, alumni, and governors, that we might continue to grow as a learning community. Lord, in your mercy, for those suffering as a result of wildfires in Nova Scotia, Alberta, and BC, and for the safety of those fighting the fires. Lord, in your mercy, we take a brief moment to consider any ordered needs in our hearts. Lord, in your mercy,
thank you, Daniel. I've also been asked that we might remember Fauna, the chinchilla, is that right? Who passed away this past week, who lived, I think, in the science building. Yeah, so Fauna, the chinchilla, we pray for Fauna and Fauna's family. Thank you all for this morning. Thank you for being here. And we're going to end with the hymn number 12, Guide Me, Thou Great Jehovah. Please stand.
Thanks, Rev. There are no prefects today, so I will dismiss you. But before that, if you'd like to watch the game, Mr. Mays and I'll figure out how to get it on in Mitchell Hall. Lunch is at 11:45. You can grab and go. You do not have to be in your number ones for lunch. You can get change for your sport kit if you'd like. Have a good day. Staff, go ahead and leave first.